Hello and welcome from inside my vehicle. First of all, I need to apologize. YouTube messed me around. I put this up for starting at 18:20. It's now 18:34. I couldn't access the live from my own mobile, despite the fact it was clearly there. And for some reason YouTube wasn't working. It just messed me around. I then tried to do a separate one using the same title from my mobile, and that also wouldn't work. So unfortunately, I'm now in my vehicle and I'm using my the webcam. So this has sort of put me off my stride a bit because I sort of came in here expecting to go out for a walk and doing something. Also, if I'm outside, the telephone's got a far better camera on. I mean, this camera's 10 years old anyway. Will be in January. 10 years since I bought it, and so I'd rather not be in the vehicle where the light's not particularly good. It's not particularly good also because I've put on my windscreen a solar panel. I've got a new 160-watt solar panel, and that's charging. And just I'm trying it out. So I've in 2 days in the current weather, it took me to charge a 500-watt power bank or power station. That's a power or whatever they call it, power station. It's charged up almost completely. So from that point of view, that hasn't been too bad, given that it's the sun's comparatively low. In the summer, I completely charged the power in less than 1 day using a 110-watt portable power solar panel. Okay, right. To get to the point, this is a live chat, so you can ask anything you want. And I got the question from Saudi Arabia, from Gerasom, asking about black tanks in Europe. Now, a black tank, for those who don't know, that's where the sewage goes in your motorhome. So what you do is, let's deal with the cassette first. With a cassette, you've got a box. It's about that big, some of this big, and about that high, something like that, 15, 20, around there, liters. It depends on the type. And then you go to a dump station and you sort of dump it out. It doesn't have to be a dump station. In fact, you can't just stick it down the toilet. Public toilets, you shouldn't do it because largely because they don't like it. But then again, if you've actually used your the cassette as it is intended, and you put fluid in or whatever, then it shouldn't really, as long as you clean it up after you, because they do tend to splash a little bit. But once you've done it a few times, I don't think I make any mess at all when I do it. But having said that, I've never actually used it in a public toilet ever. So sorry, that's not true. I did. They told me not to do it again. That was in Italy. Yeah, that was 2012. And but anyway, since that incident in Italy, I haven't done it again. I just dumped mine into a campsite. So also use the toilet wherever I happen to be living at that time. So the thing is, of course, with when you dump it off, then it does have a slight smell. It doesn't have a sewage smell. It has a smell of the chemicals that you put in it. So if you're using something like I'm using Solbio at the moment, which I'm sort of promoting actively, and or I use the blue stuff. I quite like the smell of the blue stuff, but I know lots of people don't. So with the cassette and with the black tank, it's something similar. Now I feel absolutely unqualified to discuss the use of black tanks because I've never used one. I've never dumped from one. I've never I've driven vehicles with them in, but that was only in tests. So I've never actually I've never done it. To me, so I don't feel qualified to actually talk about this subject, but seeing as it was requested, then I say that. If anybody does have experience in between the two, then please write it down which one you actually prefer. Now, the advantage with the black tank, of course, is that it can be much bigger. Now, with some vehicles, there are, for example, Concorde, which has it in, and it has a 300-litre black tank. and so that's 3 times what most people have got is their freshwater tank, and so that really is quite a lot. Now here in Europe, in some vehicles such as Carthago, larger ones with Concord, Morello, you get a choice. Do you want a cassette or do you want the black tank? Now, if a black tank's got 300 liters, which is, let's say, even the biggest, it's like 15 times the biggest cassette toilet, then the question would be is obviously you can have spare cassettes, and lots of people do have spare cassettes, but do you really want to be carrying around a pile of your excrement around with you in a separate cassette? Not where it should be, where the toilet is, but you won't really want to carry it around with you, and that's got the question. Now, how easy is it to find somewhere with the dump the black stuff at? Because that is much more difficult. And now I have seen people dumping it off at where the wastewater goes. And so if most vehicles would have separate tanks for the wastewater and the sewage. Now, I understand that in the United States that's not always the case. I understand, I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now the problem is that if the black tank is taken to these places where wastewater is dumped. Now we all know that when wastewater places, then a lot of the water doesn't go down the drain, and indeed it rarely all of it goes down the drain, even if you're a crack shot. And so I do appreciate that with the black tank, what you've got the hose as well, which you can actually take and you can sort of direct it a bit better. But all the same, I can imagine this getting dirtying up whatever you're actually using. So yeah, as the point has just been made, the wastewater tank is the grey tank. Now, how easy is it to find? Now, any campsite will have a grey water disposal, but it may not necessarily have the black water disposal. And the question then becomes, can you use the pillars to actually dispose of your waste? Now, had YouTube not messed me around earlier, then I would have stood next to the pillar here at the campsite by and actually shown you how it works. And maybe if the flow can be controlled from the black water tank, then you could potentially direct it directly into the pillar. Whether or not there'd be a 300 liters capacity in one go, that I don't know. And somebody's just about to park next to me, and all right, so they're parking next to me and driving rather close to my vehicle. So as far as I'm concerned, personally, I would rather have a cassette. The reason I'd rather have the cassette is because I can more or less stuff anywhere. Having said that, if there is more than two of you in the vehicle, and particularly we see these vehicles where there's beds for 8 people, or 7, or even 6, or even 5, that cassette is going to get filled very, very quickly. And as for me, I feel I separate my waste, but I certainly couldn't. I wouldn't ask a lady to sort of separate their waste. So 15 liters, of which you're supposed to put a couple of liters in for the fluid anyway. So you're down to 13 liters. Well, that really is okay. I suppose it could last 5 or 6 days. Now, Thetford introduced a system for the waste water, the black waste, I think what's Indus, and that claims it gives 10 days independence. Well, and thing is like this: if you've got a black water tank then you'd have 4 more than 10 days. And if you have to carry spare cassettes, then you've also got more than 10 days. So anyway, there you have my quick answer to this one: a black tank or a cassette. The thing is, most of us don't have a choice. There's very few vehicles that do have a choice. If it is a small vehicle, there's no way there's going to put a black tank on it. If you get a vehicle made to order, you could order a black tank to be on it. So anyway, there you have it. Thanks so much for listening. I hope that was okay. I'm very sorry for being messed around by YouTube in this way. It's really most annoying. Not only that, I was standing outside. I went off the campsite to actually do it, and because it rained yesterday, and there was insects around. Got bitten several times while trying to redo the writing on it. So it's really anyway, that's the way. I've had problems actually going onto YouTube on live before. I know I'm not the only ones that have problems like this. I prefer to do live videos outside in any case, because not only that, in this case, needed a demonstration, but also I like to actually show people a bit of the scenery, which is what I try to do in as many videos as I can. So thanks for watching. Hope you found it interesting. All the best from me in Wrocław, Poland at Camp for You. And bye now. Now the question is, how do I turn it off? Aha, it says edit. Maybe that's how. Oh, end stream. That's it.